Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're watching in the world. My name is Sean Driver, and this is part 4 of Why Do We Hate Ya? And this time up, Swindon Town. So, what's it going to be? Welcome to the Red Horn. If you've been following along in this series, this is now the 4th installment of us getting to know the teams in League 2, understanding who do we hate, why do we hate them, and this being Swindon Town, well, this is a team that there's not a lot to it, kind of neutral. It's a young team. We don't have a geographical rivalry with them. We've not even played 40 games against them in our history. There's just not a lot there, and because it's a young team, trying to get the stats. If you've seen the previous 3 versions of this, you see I go through the footy stats, I compare the percentiles of where they're strong, where they're weak. But this team is so young that those stats just aren't really there in complete fashion to be able to do that analysis. So what I'm going to ask you to do, follow along, subscribe to the video, contribute, make comments. I'm intending to actually make this a live recording and play it, so there will be an opportunity to chat along with it as we go through and before it goes out to the mob and the masses. So we'll see if that improves the analytics, if there's people who join for the ride. It'll also preview before the game. If you haven't been to the watch party, come on and join in. We watch along with every Wrexham game. Me, a couple other guests. So far it's been Brendan, who's been helping out with everything. We're now up to, we're getting about 60 consecutive, 69 continuous viewers. While we go through that, we're getting well over 1,000 impressions, getting close to 1,500 during the matches. It's a lot of fun. You get an opportunity to chat, contribute, put your 2 cents in as to what's happening on the game. So follow along, join the watch party, subscribe, come up with your recommendations. I'm back from holidays, which is part of the reason why this is going to be shorter as well. So let's get into it. Swindon Town FC, also known as the Robins. Its location in Swindon, Wiltshire. Sort of if you're to draw a map, it's parallel to London and Newport, kind of right in the middle. Population of 183,638, and they play in a stadium called the County Ground, which has been around for a while, 1892, has a capacity of 15,547. And last year, 9,068 was their average attendance at home, which placed them 3rd. So a team with a lot of support. Distance away from the racecourse, 157 miles. That's 253 kilometers. If you're taking the drive from the racecourse, that's 2 hours and 45 minutes. And then what we'll do is we'll spin the Google Earth map, and here you go. You can see that distance leading right to sort of the center of England down towards London and Newport. Center longitudinally, not latitudinally. Yes, that's what I meant to say. Turnover, £6,410,650. And so that's actually a relatively good turnover. Their wage rate, not spending to that amount, it's hard to get the exact numbers because not all contracts are reported. But this is not a team that's blasting off a lot of money. And that'll come up when I end up talking about the manager. The Robins historically formed in 1879. They were elected into the EFL in 1920. And they remained in the 3rd tier essentially for about 43 years. After that, there was a brief stint in the 2nd tier in the mid-60s. They also had a stint in the 2nd tier in 1970s. And their pinnacle was one season in the Premier League, 1993-94. And then since then, they've sort of been on the decline, relegated, and since 2000, 2001, sort of bounced around between League One and League Two. There's their kit sponsor, My Permit, which is as I understand it, a parking lot app. They've got 2 jerseys that are out right now. Throw them up right here. You've got the home red and white, and that makes sense given their logo. What doesn't make sense and is confusing to me is where the blue and gold came from. I can understand with a 3rd jersey making it creative, but you kind of, I thought, always want a brand such that you've got similar looking jerseys to your crest, some sort of connection. Blue and gold has been used occasionally in the past when you go through their kits, but not all of the time. I will say that I am a little bit biased, and I adore their jerseys from 2007, 2008. Not only are they the best as far as relating to their crest, and that you get colors that are actually in their crest in their jerseys, but that sponsor with that maple leaf, it just kind of draws my attention as a Canadian, so that's a good jersey. But the rest of them sort of been a fail throughout, and these ones, I don't get the branding. You have a red and gold crest, you got a blue and gold jersey. It just doesn't connect to me. Anyway, bookie odds have them finishing 10th, so we're looking at a middle third club. Their performance, they had their first game of the season postponed, and so they've had a draw against Crewe Alexandra, and then they had a win away against the Forest Green Rovers. In that game, there was a red card, and Swindon Town benefited from that with an injury time goal, 94th minute, in order to pull the 3 points out. So Forest Green Rovers expected to be one of the weaker teams. Yes, they're playing them on the road, but they needed the red card to get there. So you would think that this is a game that we should be looking to take 3 points from again and start to build as we go forward for the season. So let's hope that that happens, but you've always got to play the game, right? Last match that we had with them, well, we did have a League Cup match, November 28, 2009. As it comes to the performances in the league, competitions in the league, the last time that we met with them was January 13, 2007. That is a whopping 6,062 days ago, or if you're doing the math, 17 years and 6 months. That was a year Swindon Town pulled out the victory, and also they secured promotion that year, finishing 3rd in League Two and advancing. That was a season that we finished 19th. As far as connections to Wrexham, Mullen played 40 games, scoring 6 goals for Swindon Town in 2017, 2018, when Swindon Town finished 9th in League Two. And then Ben Tozer started his career in 2007, 2008, just with a cup of coffee. He had 2 appearances in League One. An interesting connection. Mendy plays with the Robins. Khan is from Gambia. He plays on the national team, had his recent call-up. And so there is a connection, and that's probably the most significant connection as between the 2 teams, is that they are, not a lot of teams that are going to have Gambian internationals, and there are 2 competing in League Two in Mendy and Khan. Khan has been injured. I'll go through some of that. It is anticipated that he's one of the players that's expected to be back. Last season, Swindon Town finished 10th. They started strong without a win, and that's not a streak of that length is going to hamper your ability to get promotion or get one of those playoff spots. And to compound matters and to make it even worse, they went with a streak of 8 games between March and April, or in March and April, without a win. And during that stretch of 8 games, they had 5 losses in total. So last season, if it's indicative of things, a streaky team that put some wins together but had long lapses where they were struggling to eke out any points. The most interesting part of the rivalry, and if there is a rivalry as to why we hate them, is potentially looking at Michael Flynn. And if you would have talked to me a month ago, I would have had a much different opinion on how things were. But there was a clarification that sort of came out, whether it was intentional or just fortuitous. I'll leave that for you to decide. But I do have the audio of a clip that was made about 3 weeks ago, and just going to listen to that now.
A lot of League Two clubs are spending a lot of money this year, and if they carry on doing that, they won't be around for many more years to come, because they are way over expending what they actually bring through, whether it's a wealthy owner coming in and topping it up or not. The bottom line is they won't be able to keep those figures up over the long term. We're in a place now where we're picking up from the past, and we're doing things the right way, an affordable way, and not being gung-ho or, just throwing money at things that we don't need to do. So that's probably all you're going to get out of me on that one.
So it's an odd sort of discussion piece from Michael Flynn that came out in around about July 21st. And during that interview, he suggested, as you just heard, that Swindon Town is not gung-ho and throwing around money like other teams are in League Two. And he suggested that those teams were doing it wrong, and that it was not something that Swindon Town was entertaining, that they were building a prudent, he doesn't use the word prudent, but building a prudent model by which their wage rate was correlated to their turnover and the revenue that came in. And there were thoughts that one of the teams that they were referencing in that was Wrexham. Subsequent messages that came out, and during a recent interview in just the last couple of days, he stated that when it came to Wrexham, that in his words, Wrexham has, in quotes, the best model he's seen because of the whole positivity, the commercial element, what they're doing in the community. It'd be amazing if every club could do it, and I've got nothing but compliments to say about Rob and Ryan. So I don't know if that's a backtrack from his previous statement. I don't know if that's a clarification point, but to me it makes sense. I mean, when I look at Wrexham AFC and part of the brilliance that goes on behind the scenes, it's not just Rob and Ryan as Hollywood. They're not two people who are throwing a bunch of money at this. They're running the club based on its turnover. They're running the club and spending on the wage rate depending on what their assets are. Now, certainly their assets, their turnover, their revenue is driven by their success, driven by the sponsorship that they're able to secure, driven by the excitement and the coverage and the media and all that comes along with it. But that's what the SCMP or the financial fair play rules encourage. Is if you're a club that goes out and drives revenue, then you should be permitted to spend such revenue. That makes sense. And so when it comes to a model, that backtrack from Michael Flynn, or that statement from Michael Flynn, makes absolutely perfect sense. So a month ago, I would have said, rivalry, pin that one up on the bulletin board in the locker room and we'll see what happens to it. But as it sits now, it sounds like he was speaking of other clubs who don't have that turnover and who are still spending at a high rate, and that risk that comes with it. And it's exactly that sort of behavior that is in the government's football report, suggesting that football had to get away from, was that gamble of spending beyond a club's means in order to achieve the successes and the revenue that comes with moving up the pyramid. It's what financial fair play is supposed to discourage, and it's happening here. So as to the team roster, they've essentially had a consistent roster, but it is young. Their goalkeeper, they've got two of them. One of them's 20, he hasn't played yet. The other one's 21, and he's played both games so far. They've got Hutton at 24. Blake Tracy is one of the old guard at 27. McEachran, 22. Young, 22. Kemp, 24. Brewitt, 26. Genesini, 21. Godwin Malif, 23. You get the hint here that there are an exceptional number of young players trying to get their feet wet in League Two, get that experience. And so trying to break things down is going to be hard. They did have 4 players out of the lineup from earlier on, and they're anticipated to be back at least in some capacity for the game against Wrexham. That's Kahn, who we just talked about, who didn't play in game 2, or who played in game 1 but was not on the bench for the last game. That's Wakeling, who played in game 1 but was not on the bench in the last game, and Hepburn, Murphy, and Shade, who, as I understand, haven't played this year. So super young across the board. Their oldest forward is 27, and 60% of their forwards are 24 and under. Their oldest midfielder, 27, and 60% of their remaining midfielders are 23 and under, and they have one veteran defender in Charlie Austin. He's also their captain, and the rest of their defenders are 24 or under. So you'll see you're likely going to get a team with pace, maybe a team that's a little technically inclined, but maybe as far as it becomes with team play and understanding each other, that there's some gaps, some lapses that hopefully we're going to be able to take advantage of. And that's really it when it comes to Swindon Town. Not going to go through all the analytics because they're just not there. So what have we been doing? Comparing this to a North American squad. So here's the deal. Take your favorite team and then take an out of conference or an out of division team that you just have no interest in watching the game and getting involved. For the Vancouver Canucks, that's my hockey team, that'd be what? The Carolina Hurricanes, maybe the Columbus Blue Jackets. For the Minnesota Vikings, that's potentially taking on the LA Rams or the Indianapolis Colts. Just no real rivalry going on. That's who Swindon Town is to me. And if you're going to compare them to a food, I guess it's a marshmallow. Nothing to it. Nobody really wants marshmallow. Nobody really hates if they have it around. It's just sort of present. And so congratulations, Swindon Town, on existing. You are not hated. And we're going to wrap that up. We're going to put this out right away. Because it's post midnight my time and I've got to wake up for a 7 o'clock game. So subscribe, join the watch party if you see this, and we'll see you next time. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. We're back, we're live. It's a beautiful Saturday morning for me, back in the west coast of Canada in Vancouver. Nice to see so many people here during the chats and taking part and everything. I'm just going to move this for a second and taking chat and everything while everything got started. I did notice some of the comments. Andrew, regarding the FYP, I absolutely agree. I think that there should be a hard cap on the whatever percentage it is, 60%, 70%. I think part of the problem is when you allow for owners to end up filling the coffers either through equity or through a non-forgivable loan, you cause the exact same problem that's been going on for decades with English/Welsh football. And that is teams going into trouble into administration because eventually the owners pull out and the contracts are just too high. And so we would like to see that happen. But the challenge is you've got to get that, I think, across Europe. With that harder cap. I do like for football linking it to revenue, unlike happens, say, in the NHL, which for hockey, it's a hard cap. It doesn't matter if you're a rich team or a poor team. You have a salary ceiling that you have to spend to a minimum. You have a salary floor. You need to get, or salary floor. You have a salary ceiling. You have to spend to a maximum. I don't think that can work in English football because of how diverse things are between the levels, but I do like that cap. So that was one of the comments with to the FFP being a potential joke. And then I've got Will here with the marshmallow reference. I was trying to think of some food that was going to relate to Swindon Town. And I was like, what's a food that I just don't care about having in the house? But if it's there, that's fine. Mauricio, no, I do not broadcast the game. I'll give the details as to the broadcast in a second here. I'll bring that up. So you've got to go to iFollow to be able to do that. Here's the information that's on below. If somebody is aware of a link and they are able to do that, I can't control what's really here other than cursing and that sort of stuff. So if it shows up, there's not much I can do about it, but the link is there below. It's 10 quid for the match. If you want to try iFollow, 25 for a month and 140 quid for the season. So feel free to join up and link with that. If not, I tend to control how I talk about the game dependent on who is here and how they're listening. For UK fans who aren't able to pick up the stream, I try to give a little bit more play-by-play. For those of you who, if I end up having a chat that nobody's relying on me for the play-by-play, then I take a back seat and we just chat. So Andrew, I'm certainly with you there on they have FFP in place, but it's not a hard cap. It's always the soft revenue cap. It's a revenue-based cap in the sense that 60%, 70%, whatever it is across the board and how it's used in each club domestically, that number changes. And when I say 60% of football turnover, the revenues related to football revenue. My brain needs to get firing. I'm going to have a swig of coffee here, but I don't know what else you guys thought about that. The Michael Flynn, I saw there was some commentary about that. Andrew thought that it was not really a backtrack. I think it was Will that thought it was. I don't know. It came across odd to me when it first came out to be taking shots, because I was like, he's got to be careful. Who's he taking shots at? Because there are clubs I certainly agree with that just don't have the revenue to justify their wage rate. But Wrexham's in a unique circumstance. There's only, as far as I'm aware of all of the teams in the top 4 tiers, there are only 2 that are football revenue positive. That is to say that their revenue exceeds their wage rates, and that's Tottenham and Wrexham. And that's it. So, and well, there isn't, that's what I was trying to get at. I'll try to explain this. There is, I have some videos that are on YouTube that talk about the financial side of things. There isn't a max budget in the league. What the budget is linked to is not the budget. What financial fair play is linked to is your football revenue. So that's your ticket sales, that's your streaming revenue, TV revenue, your distribution from the league, gate sales, anything that you can do to generate revenue is football turnover. And that football turnover, you can spend a percentage of it against for your wages. So let's call it 60%. For a lot of clubs, what they do is they add revenue via equity, or they add revenue versus a non-forgivable loan. And if you do that, it constitutes football turnover, and you can either get permission to use revenue from the owners to exceed the percentage of football turnover. And a lot of clubs do that. Most clubs do that. And so I think, what's the point? If you're going to put it in financial fair play, that is, you shouldn't allow the coffers to be filled up by the owners, except for in exceptional circumstances. So that's where we are with that. I don't know if you saw the lineup. I'm going to run that through. Another interesting selection process. I saw a tweet that said that Hayden was no longer injured. And if that's true, I'm disappointed that he didn't even make, not only did he not make the starters, he's not even sitting on the bench. So O'Connell's in with Tozer and Boyle up front. I found it interesting that Barnett and Cannon are getting a run out in the morning. Good morning, Dale and Andrew and Brendan. I saw that was here. Nice to see you guys are all linked in, and already up to 23 people sticking around. Just as a reminder, won't be streaming. You'll have to get it on iFollow, but there it is. I don't know if you saw the lineup. I don't know where McLean is. I don't believe he's got a knock at all, so I'm curious as to why he's out. I do love the fact that, given the performance that happened during Walsall, that Bickerstaff and Palmer are getting another run out. So yeah, so Brennan saw that. No McLean. Luke, welcome. So feel free to see what you think. I mean, you have to have Mendy, you have to have Lee. They've been the 2 guys that have been stirring the drink and getting things done. And so those 2 were there. My questions are O'Connor coming off of the bench. I don't know if I'm a big fan of that. I'd like to get the guy some more time. I think he's earned it. And especially if you're not going to have O'Connor, I would rather have Young. I like the set plays that those 2 have. And if with them out, I suppose it's Lee that's going to be required to take most of those. And so we'll see how that transpires. Sort of an interesting selection. And maybe that's indicative of the quality of Swindon Town. I'd hate to say it, but I do think this is a very winnable game. As to, there you go, Will's throwing that one out there. What's my prediction for this game? With those 3 guys in the back and the young team that's there, I'm going to call this a 2-0 Wrexham win. I think we can get a clean sheet off of this one. I think we should do all right. Now, any given Saturday, right? We'll see how it all transpires. 7 minutes away from this logging in. Feel free to throw out any other questions, queries you had regarding the lineup. But you guys know, if you've been here before, I'm not really sold on Hosanna. If McLean is healthy, I don't see any reason why Hosanna is getting a run out in a league match. If this was a cup or a trophy, by all means, let him get his legs and prove himself. But I just don't think he has. Alex from Toronto. I flew over Toppy a couple of days ago, coming back from Halifax, to now where I am in beautiful Port Coquitlam, British Columbia. And if just as a shout out, and if you are from somewhere else, these are the Canadian provinces that we've got represented so far. I'll go through the countries. If you're from anywhere else other than BC, Alberta, Manitoba, Ontario, put a shout out. I'll put the other ones up there. States in the U.S., different countries. We're tallying things up, as it were, and as we go through the process. Mullen, we don't have a definitive timeline on Mullen that I've heard as of yet, except they've shrunk it down to it's certainly weeks rather than months. That's the last I've heard. I don't know if anybody else has heard anything different to that. And I think it's positive. I think it's going to be nice to have him back in the lineup, and I think we're doing okay if we can stay sort of mid-table where we are a little bit better with the September schedule. I would anticipate us to be making a run through September, and we'll see how things go there. So yep, and I had what is the noun for a Ohioan? Anyway, we do have somebody from Ohio. We are collecting up here, and man, I'm just going to take 1 second here. As you can hear, the youngest ones are up, so I'm just asking if I can get a little bit of quiet as politely as I can. And I'm glad I hit the mute button and you guys don't get to hear me. And obviously, I didn't do well with the hair this morning, but don't mind that, guys. Oh, that's news to me, Andrew. I'm wondering what the source is. I haven't looked at that. I think the thought process is Young, and I guess that's not a formal process. That's Parkey saying, I'd like to give Young some time off, whether it be injury or what do they call it? Injury maintenance was the term that happened in the NBA when the Claw was doing his thing and needed help. They came up with a whole medical staff just directed to where he was and what games he could and couldn't play. Well, that's about as good a source as you get, Andrew. James taking a knock. I mean, the nice thing is we're deep enough, and I truly believe that. I think that the lineup that we have in, especially at the back, looks really, really good. And Bickerstaff and Palmer looked great up front in the last one. I'm hoping that's going taunting me like rival fans. Yeah, I love this stage, and I am frustrated by this stage because there's things I want to do, and kids are unpredictable, but it's still pretty awesome with the things they randomly pull out at times. So I can't complain about the noise in the background. I guess it's just part of the character now of the live broadcast is Munchkin screaming and throwing stuff in the background. The good news is the grandparents are here, so that'll be good. So we're 3 minutes away from going live here. I'm going to make sure I've got everything loading up. 2 minutes on there. Live match center. Commentary to begin. And I looked at their roster, by the way, and the interesting part is Khan is in the lineup. So that's they've got him returning from injury into the lineup, so he'll probably play in the center midfield. And you've got Wakeling, who's going to be on the bench. Two of their other injuries, Hepburn and Shade, are not listed. So they've got load management. That's it, Andrew. Load management. I was trying to think of the term. 7 o'clock in the morning, and the brain's not firing yet. And is it rude to be expecting Mark Griffiths? I don't know what it was. The original tweet that came out said that there was a tech issue in London with AFC Wimbledon, and that's why he was doing the broadcast. And so I was like, this is a nice little treat. And then we've kind of been spoiled, and now it's an expectation. I'm hoping that I get him in the headset as we go through things. That's odd, Mike. Why won't your stream load to watch? It is a minute until iStream loads, unless you're on a dodgy Fire Stick or some other thing that's necessary out there. No, I think that's just the quality of the players. Although there might be some English fans out there who think that it's the Irish players should be cheaper, but no Mauricio. I do not on with channel, but if somebody puts a link out there or has a source, I don't critique that. That's beyond my control. But dodgy fire stick. Oh, I'm playing that not through my headset. I was wondering why it was so quiet in here. So the lineups are there. I do like the lineup. I'm not going to lie to you. Other than I've got some questions as to whether Hayden or McLean could have came in. I don't think it's load management. I don't think that there's any other reason why they shouldn't be in the game. But I do wish that they were playing. But it's maybe a message that Parky's saying, taking a risk, given it's Swindon Town, a team that we should be able to handle. We shall see. We shall see. It's gotta hate being a manager because if it works, he's brilliant and he's managed the load and everybody's doing well. And if it's not load management, we end up losing. Uh, we're going to be a little bit frustrated as a consequence. So for those of you who are not watching, I'm going to try to give a little bit of details as to what's happening. So we're now on the pitch. We're waiting on Swindon Town. They're in a huddle and they're just coming to the center. Looks like they're starting with the ball. Wrexham going from left to right. Swindon going from right to left on your computer monitor. And Paul Parkinson looking stylish and black. And I will say my jersey's being shipped over. It's reached Canada. I've got 2 of them coming in a hat, so it should be here by the next broadcast next week. So I'm stoked for that. And we're underway. If you're following along, I'll give you updates as to where my time is so you can move things forward and backwards. Yeah, I'm curious about Mike, why Luke's not in, but Andrew did intimate that it's load management, trying to make sure that he's doing all right. As to Hayden, I heard a report yesterday on Twitter that said he was back and he was healthy, so I was excited to see him in. I haven't heard of McLean being injured, but I thought Hayden was back, but maybe they decided to take him back. So Barnett gets pulled down. He's on the ground. We're sitting at 36 seconds. As to me, Barnett's down. We've got a free kick to start. That was Lee just coming across the pitch over to him on the right side, and and he just gets run into right through the leg. So Wrexham with possession, coming up to the 1 minute mark. I'll mark it for you. So we're there, and we got a chance already into the box. Bickerstaff, well done, gets it over to Mendy on the left-hand side. Mendy kicks it back. Lee looking for Bickerstaff, just cut out just slightly, and Swindon's bringing it down the right side. Turnover, well played. I think that was helped in the back from Mendy, who got a leg on it. And Wrexham, we're back to where we were against Walsall as a start. Always questionable as to how we're starting. Another Texan. I think that's leading the way. Is the Texans are all over this watch chat. I think that's the 4th one. So welcome. And I'm going to change my captions and put the starting lineup out there. So if you're looking for it, the details are down below. Setting up in the back, this is, again, very indicative to Walsall. Good control, setting things up, moving forward. Boyle has it on the left side, tries to advance it, and I think that got deflected and we get the throw. It was. And it is Mark Griffiths on the broadcast, so it's a beautiful morning. I mean, I got coffee. I'd like to do night games so I could have a bevy. Mendy right at center field with the throw. Searching. A lot of time running. They're trying to get it. Now he just gets to throw in. That was a long wait. Header from Bickerstaff, loses control, and it'll come the other way. So Mark's telling us there's a gusty wind out there. I don't know who's responsible for that tackle because there was two in there, but well done. Now we've got it. Palmer's in the center. Oh, he just overstepped it a little bit, but gains it back over to the right side to settle it down. And oh, that was a soft call. Commentators agree. Palmer just sort of with a nudge. I thought that was fair physical play. If it's going to be that soft, this is going to be a long game. Oh, I think the guy just jumped in front of him and then went to the ground. That's Brendan. That's your favorite play. Where you jump in front of the guy, get a soft little nudge, and you flop, and you get the call. Gutsy play anyway. Wrexham is, or sorry, Swindon's got the ball now on the left side. First search into the box. I think he was offside. No flag. Save made anyway. Playing advantage. Did the flag end up going up? Can't see. But that was Young up there. I'd like to see that again. I think both of them entries were on the ball. There was Bickerstaff gets pulled down. I didn't really see the replay on that or see it in action because they were on a replay. But Bickerstaff got pulled just in front of the box, and the way the commentators are reacting is there should have been a foul on that one, and nothing given. Flop. I'm assuming that was them with the Brennan with the flop on Palmer coming in. 4 minutes and 45 seconds coming up into the match now. If you're following along and want to move your sliders, Swindon with the ball in the center. Another easy take by Lee and Mendy. Those guys on the left side can just live together as far as I'm concerned because they've been on point all season long. If there's a game on, it's beer o'clock. I agree with you, except for within the first 30 minutes of waking up. I'm not going to be able to pull that one off. But for you, when I'm in Wrexham, I'll change the rules. I'll accept that first thing in the morning, having a bevy. Swindon now just setting up in the back, searching. Kick around in the back, and again another interception and close, and so Bickerstaff gets it. That was Jones who got it. Bickerstaff gets it to Mendy. He's down the left, so Bickerstaff got it to, I think that was Jones or Cannon anyway. I couldn't see the number. Got it to Mendy. Mendy got it down the left, got to Bickerstaff. They were working down there, and Swindon just able to get it back. They've now cleared. Is it going out of touch? It is, and so we'll have a throw at midfield coming in. Already got goals, Newport and Walsall are leading over Crew Alexander and Forest Green, respectively. Man, FGR just not looking like the squad to stay out of relegation, are they? Maybe unfortunate in their game against Swindon last match, got a red card late in the game and then ended up losing it in injury time, 94th minute. Oh, Bickerstaff had tried to tackle, ended up calling it. It almost sounds, I hate to say it, referee calling fouls and based on position, right? If an offensive player is blowing it down or is to the benefit of the defenders, right? The defensive club. If there's any touch, it seems, around the box for either club, tends to favor just calling it and letting the other team clear. So Swindon came down. Boyle had a nice tackle on the left side, and was able to get it out. And here's Fozzie with his first goal kick and first time he's touched the ball. Not a lot of chat. You guys must be into this. Either that or I'm exceptionally boring today. Cannon's got it. Gets it back all down the left side. Lee swings it over to the right. Wow, nice touch. That was well done by Barnett. He's running at him, cross into the box. No, you were right there. Lee in the middle on his feet and just sort of skipped and rolled over his feet. Oh, great ball by Barnett there, down the right side. Amazing cross. I mean, that's exactly what you want. Oh, well put down by Palmer. Bickerstaff has it. Bickerstaff shoots. Ooh, got out with the left arm. Mahoney with an outstanding stop. Palmer puts it down, kind of comes back to Palmer again, flicks up in the air. Bickerstaff puts a man on the ball. Oh, and that was searching for that left post. And he was just able to get across. That's an exceptional save. Wow. The Dons just scored. Feel free. I'm not looking at the scores. If you guys have scores elsewhere and who they're playing and what the score is, and you guys want to throw updates in the chat, I'm all for updating everything that way, guys. And we are at 0-0 while the game's running. I'm going to tend. I had a request last time to keep the score up. While it's 0-0, I don't think that there's a point there, so I'm just going to continue to run this information. So we've got the ball again. Mendy on the left. I'll tell you, there seems to be advancing everything through the left and then swinging it to the right for the entry. Great little ball. Mendy there trying to get it well defended, and it's going to roll out for a goal kick. Andrew, I was in South Korea for the World Cup, and I think it was in 2000. Was it 2006? And I was up at 3:00 in the morning to watch games, so I was in the inverse, getting drinks then. Swindon with a great take from Boyle, out muscled, which is rare to say. Got it into the box, and Barnett was there. It looks like for the header away, and they'll earn the corner. I'm just trying to see Boyle kind of overstepped and got off balance and left his man wide open on the left side. Lots of goals early on in the Dons game. Jeepers. Brendan's top of the table needs to lose. Everybody else gets a draw. That's his modus operandi, right? The Dons have Colchester. And it looks like early on in that game, all the possession stats to Colchester and MK Dons have the most shots, but whatever that's worth to you. Lots of goals early on around the league. No call on the foul. The fans are upset. You can definitely hear Wrexham's large and in charge. And it's odd seeing all the red jerseys there for Swindon sitting in the away end. Surprised that we give the away fans such great seats. Can we not stuff people in a corner? Is there an obligation to make? I know you've got to give 10% or 1,000, but is there a reason why you can't stuff them in a corner? Let the internationals go down there at least. Yeah, I'm starting to wonder. Right? There's been a lot of flops called one way and not the other. Ooh. I think that was a soft foul going to our benefit, but we ended up with the ball there. So yeah, 2002, Germany was, and that's right. 2006 was the World Cup in Germany. I was living in South Korea, so I was drinking at 3:00 in the morning, watching late games over there. So I know the pain of watching late football in a stadium of 70,000 people. That were built for the 2002 World Cup. They were doing live watch-alongs there. Except for now I'm going to forget his name. Alistair Swanson? Whoever the referee was that we had in the it wasn't a League Cup game. I think it was the Wigan match. I really thought that his efforts were great. I thought that he was fair. He let the teams play. I thought he did a good job. If anybody knows where there's a report card for the referees that are out there, I've been looking. I know that it's harder to do, like in baseball, they have it where every strike or missed call, you can do that because it's pretty indicative. In football, it's hard to say that's a definitive blown call because there's so much subjective into it. But it'd be interesting to see a report card, who's performing well and who's not. I'm just being quiet to listen to the Wrexham fans announce singing. So we're at 13 minutes and 30 seconds. I've sort of let the broadcasting part of it go. Swindon's got it on their left-hand side, swinging it in, headed away. Oh, weird bounce, but Swindon's able to collect it. If they hadn't, they would have been on a run. There he goes. Mendy gets the ball in a long lead, just a little bit too far for Bickerstaff to chase on. But Andrew, absolutely. We look really good so far. To be fair, Swindon's come into their own. They've found their feet. It's a little bit closer to 50-50 now than it was earlier on. Grimsby's up on Mansfield Town 1-0. We've got the ball. Our Swindon's got the ball center field. Almost an interception there by Lee, but it's opened things up on the right-hand side. They've got it there. Long cross. Whoa. That one off to the moon. Swindon, I don't know if he was intending to shoot and then last second tried to do a cross and it just came off of his foot and took off. I do not disagree with you. We definitely need Paul back in the lineup. I'm happy see, I've always been in the camp that we don't need to add a striker, especially because with our roster situation, it means we have to let another player go and lose two. So I'm happy we're doing it. We're searching for long balls a lot more frequently, I think, in this game than we have Colchester or the real Who Cares team. Yeah, it's hard to get up. It was hard to get up for this one. Most of the teams you can find a character, you can find somebody that you want to get into. The only interesting dynamic in this game is Con, number 8, who's standing in the middle of the field. If you're looking at it coming across, and Mendy's relationship, both being Gambian internationals. Other than that, header right onto their chest, and Bickerstaff there tried to intercept. Swindon's got it back, and they're searching again. That was a bit of a mess defensively, but we were fortunate that they weren't able to settle the ball down. Cross into the box from the right side. And they lost the ball again. Bickerstaff, that's twice he's had a chance to clear and sort of lost it. Bickerstaff didn't clear twice, got over to the far side, pumped up in the air, header down. It's in the back of the net. Young for Swindon gets the goal. That was really a mess. Got to clear the ball, guys. Got to clear the ball. So just watching the replay, crosses from their right side. Mendy's not able to get the block. It comes to the far side, headed back towards the middle of the box, unmarked. He's there. Tozer was there to try to head it down. He missed it by that much, and it's into the back of the net. Got work to do. I don't know if Tozer got that. To be fair, it could be an own goal. Palmer getting a card here for the challenge. Things all down. Challenge in the air. Looks like there was a contact ahead between Palmer and the Swindon player who's down, and they're having a chat. He's reaching into his Is he reaching into his pocket? No, he's just having a chat. So, and the player just stands up and keeps going. So they haven't treated him for a head injury. And on the broadcast, Griffiths is suggesting that's a mistake, penalty or not. And yes, I'm always going to be behind Andrew with the stream and in the comments. It's just the nature of sending things back and forth through the internet. I have a latency that I can't help. So it's 18 minutes and 15 seconds is where I'm at. And there's not much I can do to speed that up. So I'll pull this down now that we've got a score. Nice tackle. Are we able to turn that into an advantage? That was a bit of a soft flop there, Brendan. I'm going to suggest by Lee going to ground there on the run into in the back, but we'll take it, spin it the other way. Still feel good about the game and how we've started, but now we've got to find some offense. And to be fair, things have gotten a little bit messy. And there's another perfect example of things getting messy. A bad pass, looked like it was Cannon had to go back and make contact with it, pushed it out, and it almost ran out. So Tozer, another long ball. Palmer gets it. Oh, you've got to call that. And that's a foul. That's a card. Bickerstaff turning out. He's reaching for his pocket. That's a yellow card. So Palmer gets the ball. Beautiful lead to Bickerstaff. And Bickerstaff turns on his player and definitely had him beat, was running straight to goal, and Brewitt just reaches over and pulls him down. I think you're right. That would have been a goal. Be interested to see that. Lots of long balls this game. I haven't seen that as a consistent, obvious, apparent strategy, but Palmer beautifully down. Bickerstaff turns, gets pulled down, and we are now, what is that, 15 feet from the front of the box? So there is a wall there. Lots of center backs are up. 3 in the wall, now 4 in the wall. Lee's obviously taking it as our set piece person with Young and O'Connor not on, so he's having a look at goal. We'll see what he's doing. It looks like he's going to goal. Here it is. Oh, into the wall. He's got it back. Flick it up in the air. Tried to get it in, but off of a Swindon player. Was that a handball? Headshot. Young went down in the wall. Lee's second attempt into the box was a hard kick, and it smashed him right in the head, and they've gone straight. Two things. It's frustrating, Andrew. During the last watch party, what we were talking about is a way for me to potentially add graphics and do things and to keep the score up and to run a clock. And I've been looking into it, and you got to add like software onto software onto software. And I just think the delay, the latency is going to be too much. But yeah, that very well, Andrew, could be a broken nose. I haven't seen it, but I mean, I wouldn't want to be on the receiving end of a full blast from Lee. He looks like he's okay. But that was just a bit his lip, I think, maybe. That's where they're treating. Yeah, that one's I don't know. I think if another 6 inches to a foot clear, and maybe, but they were into the battle. It was definitely clear that he got beat. He was going to be beat, but I'm with a reaction. Hey, anything before the half, right? Like we've been into it. The challenge is, and where I'm concerned is when that first save that Mahoney had for them. I'm a little bit nervous. At 21-year-old, he's young, but building his confidence up. Apparently, he performed really well in the Forest Green Rovers game, and that was an exceptional save that he had earlier on. We'll see how it goes. So we're back into it. 22 minutes and 17 seconds on my clock. Swindon up 1-0. And we've got the ball working down the right side. Jones sort of got led there and wasn't able to keep the ball at his feet. It's lost, and so Swindon's now working away down their left side. McLean back. We're back to the pressure. Palmer almost with a theft there. Barnett down the right side. He's on to everything. So the forwards are putting in the effort. Yeah, so it's going to be a process to see whether I want to change software and add those things because I do think that it would be beneficial. It's just what the options are, and I'm kind of getting used to this as a format delivery option. So Swindon's still got the ball working down the right. They're at midfield now. Still lots of pressure from us up front, which I prefer that to just worrying about keeping our shape and staying in the back. Long ball over, nobody there. Howard collects, or sorry, Fozzie collects. O'Connell to the center, kind of put Jones under pressure there, but he was able to pull that off, and it gets back. Lee at midfield on the left-hand side. Cannon gets it over to the other side. Jones, Barnett. Oh, I think that was the wrong play. He had all that space in the center, and he tried to go back, but fortunate enough for sort of a misplay, and we're going to get a corner out of it. I think he should have gone to the middle. If I was playing and I had my controller on EA Sports, I would have sent that into the middle of the box with all that space. So Lee with service, Boyle's now up, walking into the box, and here we go. Into towards the middle of header just over top. Mahoney again gets a hand on it. I don't know if it was necessary. It looked like it was going to hit the woodwork, but we'll go to the other side and we'll have another corner. Interesting. They see the lockdown there, the bear hug. Could have potentially been a penalty, but they let them go. That was Palmer trying to get into there. Here comes a service. That one's a much further ball. Tozer's not. That wasn't a good ball. And it just rolls harmlessly out the other end. Tozer tried to get there to get it back in. But that was a great header, but I don't know if you saw the replay. It looked like he couldn't get up because he got bear hugged. Sort of a sneaky little arm around. Not enough for a penalty, just enough to make sure he couldn't do what he wanted to do with the ball. But that first corner was a good one. So 25 minutes, 15 seconds, and Mahoney's clearing. O'Connell collects. The ball rolled too far. Foster in the back. What am I watching it on? I'll bring that up. I am watching it on iFollow. It's the only place that I stream. If people have another stream, they're welcome to put it out there, Dodgy Fire Stick or otherwise. But I've got the link down below. It'll be 10 quid for you to load up the match, 25 quid if you want to get it for a month and just sort of follow along. So Swindon now on the right. Nice move. These two have been after it, Mendy and whoever number 2 is. Hamilton? Oh. What happened there? Did Fozzie fall? Like, what happened there? Like, I don't even know what happened. Like, it didn't look like it was a threatening ball coming in. So left-footed cross. Yeah, well, he swept in front of O'Connell, but I don't know where the Fozzie didn't see him coming. Like that one, it looked like it was a great ball, but Fozzie looked like he was napping on the cross. I thought originally he fell. You got to give it to him. It was a nice touch with the right. Hutton's been showing up Mendy. They've been suggesting, and they just snuck in between Tozer and O'Connell, and got their foot on the ball, and Foster potentially sleeping. O'Connell not being on the right side or yikes. Not what we were looking for, right? To update the score. I'm just frustrated right now. And I may have tech issues. Oh, here we go. Get in. Holy, that's good potential goal of the season right there. Holy moly, Bickerstaff. What? Beats two guys, comes around, third guy comes up, gets past him from a really acute angle, ends up putting it past McLean on the right side. 2-1. We're back into it. Holy moly. Not a lot of space there. McLean waving the white flag with his hand up as it just rockets over his shoulder. Like he's on an acute angle, right foot, able to get it in and towards the middle of the net. That's rather impressive. Holy moly. If we end up turning this one around, that could be the goal of the season. Holy. Early on, that's the winner. Jeepers. So 2-1. We're back in it. We're live. That'll build the confidence back up, won't it? And we've got, we'll lead too far, a little bit overexcited. I had everything freeze on me. So I've had to hit the reload button. And I think if I don't lose you, that's probably what I should remind myself to do every once in a while is just hit the refresh button. Well, now we got, I hope you didn't curse us. We're Swindon's on the break here now. Got a turnover there in the center, long shot. Like the problem is we're giving it to him. We're giving it to him. Like, and unlike the first game against the Dons where there was 5 goals and I don't think you could really blame Fozzie for any of them. That's one that's Fozzie's got to get to. The second one, it looked like Fozzie slept on the only guy who was a threat to come into the box. And so you got to question that one. The first one, I don't know if you can fault it, but right into the middle, it can go either way. I mean, it was right into the corner. But Lee turnover spins it the other way. They've got numbers running at us, and they just popped it in. So, well, the immediate turnover. Well, I'm not going to say 100% because those turnovers shouldn't have happened, Andrew. Right? Get in, get in. Oh, we saved it ourselves. It was going in. Boyle, I think that was Boyle, had it and kicked it, and it hit Bickerstaff in the legs behind him. And we missed that. Was that a replay? I have no idea what happened on that corner, but Griffiths was excited. Here comes the replay. Or it was a Tozer throw in. So long throw in. And a header, and it rolls 2.5 feet too far. I mean, we're into it. And I think that we've been outplaying them. But just 2 really brutal plays in the back. So Swindon's now got it. We've got lots of players back. They're doing a nice little round of kickabout. And you know what? They've looked good. The young guys drive it down to the front of the box, cross in, doesn't stop. Tozer's knocked it down. It's cleared. Long ball up to Palmer. He gets beaten. Given away. Another giveaway. And now they're running at us again. Right onto it. It's 4. Like, script it. Script it. Like, you can see it coming as soon as it's off of his foot. Off to the midfield. Just nobody around. I don't even know who he was kicking it to. There was nobody in his area. Oh, they say it was a ricochet? That wasn't a ricochet. That was a full right booted kick that went to right to midfield. Wind that back at the 33.5-minute mark. I'm going to have to watch that one on replay because Mark's broadcast says it ricocheted off. I didn't see a ricochet. I just saw a giveaway. Oh, and what he's saying is the clear here ricocheted off. Yeah, Tozer did get a foot on the ball and it ricocheted back and landed on Swindon's feet. But I'm not worried about that play. You're behind in numbers. I don't think I can blame Fozzie on that one. That was just Oh, this is worse than the MK Dons match, I think, Andrew, because this has been entirely on us. The MK Dons match, it was they earned it. It's 4-1. It's 4-1. Like the MK Dons one, you could honestly say Fozzie wasn't at fault for any of the goals, and I would accept that as an argument. You could say that it was their play that looked good. Now, credit to Swindon. They've been getting their chances. On that 4th goal, I knew that was going in because I've seen enough quality as soon as they've been rushed with numbers. But absolutely garbage giveaways. Garbage giveaways from the back. Like if I don't that's just shocking defensively. And when I looked at the roster at the start of the game, you've got O'Connell, Tozer, and Boyle back there. I went, okay, that's almost as good as we can get it. To me, the only improvement that you can make at the back is Hayden. And so that's frustrating because I anticipated a clean sheet, for Pete's sake. Oh, the Bronx cheer. I don't know what you guys call that when you cheer somebody who hasn't been doing something. Fozzie got his. That's the first time I've heard a Bronx cheer in football in England, Wales this year involving Wrexham, and any game involving Wrexham where he just got a simple catch of the ball and there were some fans who were applauding him for making the save. Man. So what's the option though? I mean, here we thought that we were going in with a ton of center backs. I mean, I don't think Tozer's the weak link in the back. And I know a lot of people disagree with me, but I haven't been impressed with O'Connell. Are we convinced? Am I convinced that Max is better? Getting there. Will be. Not sure if he's there yet. Long throw by Tozer in from the sidelines. Mendy's back there to collect. It's over. It's 4-1. I don't know if there's a point. I mean, it's if you're going to do it, you do it now to send a message, right? Um, he did. I'll give Max that. Um, Tunnicliffe, Jordan. I don't think that's an improvement over what we've got, but I can see an argument for Max. The goal was by Bickerstaff, and unfortunately, it's going to be overshadowed by the result. But that might be goal of the season by Bickerstaff. That was an impressive individual effort to beat like 3 guys to score. So, oh, you guys call it the ironic cheer. We call it the Bronx cheer. I don't know how Bronx got to ironic and ironic to Bronx. I don't think anybody ever thought it was easy. Oh, Lee with the shot just missed it. I think we're frustrated because we've given 2 games away now. And that's something that we didn't see last year. And that's not quality of the players. Like MK Dons beat us, full merit to them. But this one just completely given away. And I'd give credit for pressure, but Swindon hasn't been applying a lot of pressure. They've been playing back. And it's just us putting the ball right on their chest with nobody else around to allow them to come back. That's a fair assessment. I mean, if there is something, although we've had the giveaways, you'd like to see either a big save or a big stop. And the third goal is a perfect example of potentially being too slow, right? Simple move by the attacker to split the two. Tozer goes with the guy in the middle. EOC's now on the wrong side. He's on the far side from the ball coming in, and can't do anything when the foot to ball and it's in the back of the net. Maybe the quicker player, they'd be able to get there. 41 minutes. But Swindon doing well with possession there. That was nothing comes of it, and they get it to us, and we're advancing forward now. Oh, soft giveaway, Bickerstaff, just with intending to get it back, but just sort of muffed on it, and away it went. EOC's up front now after running through to try and steal the ball. It gets deflected. I do believe that is the source. I will say I went to Yankee Stadium to watch a game for the first time last season, towards the end of last season. And one of the nicest home fans I've ever been. I sat next to a couple of Yankee fans and had some beer. We were heckling players sitting next to each other of the opposite teams and having a blast doing it. Mendy earns a free kick down the left side 42 and a half minutes into the first half. And so Lee will step up looking to serve it in the box from it looks like about 10 feet outside of the box on the left side. And that was just Mendy just got grabbed and dispensed of by Hutton, who's been, to be fair, Mendy has looked all the quality down the left-hand side. And today he's been having a challenge with Hutton. Let's just get better. I mean, up front, I've had no issues with the goal scoring and the attacks that we've had. Just giving too much away is the frustration. punched out by the keeper from Lee. It went straight in, and they called a foul. And 40 Foster kick back and just have to give up possession there. Like that's a perfect example where lazy kick back to Foster. Swindon Town has attackers running forward, and Fozzie has no other option than to just kick it out. So Swindon with the throw in now. 44th minute. This was a frustrating half. Entertaining. So really good half by their captain, Austin. And you know what? A lot of pressure on him, and you have to give him credit because he's the captain. He's the only elder statesman, really. Ironic cheer for Fozzie. And he's sort of been everywhere, hasn't he, Austin, up front? Yeah, that would have been a different situation. Good ball by Bicktaff. We've been saying that a lot. Cross in way too far. Misplayed, though. Mendy's collected it on the left. He tries to... Whoa, did he get that in? Palmer's up. Jumped over his back, but I don't know if Palmer could have played it, so I don't know if you call that as a penalty. Back over to the right side. Barnett blocked. O'Connell able to regain it. Back to Barnett. 45th minute. We've got 6 minutes of injury time. We're just 10 seconds in. Long ball again from Barnett. Goes too far. Mendy collects on the left side again. Mendy versus Hutton. These two have been at it all day. Get some help. Mendy cross in. Oh, just misses. Kicked away down the right side. We've got a throw in at the half, and that's Boyle looking to go quick. Sloppy turnover. I don't know. You could have called that would that have been a soft foul? I mean, I hate those where you get the push in the back and lose your footing and the ball goes out as a consequence. Oh, really? Another throw in by Swindon. I thought that Lee managed to bang that off of his legs for the throw into us. So 6 minutes of injury time. We've gone through a minute of them. Swindon's trying to collect. They get it back to their goalie. Palmer was putting pressure on, and now Bickerstaff is up to try to apply some pressure. Long kick down the field. That's a problem, isn't it, Andrew? That's a problem. When I'm trying to go through the lineup, the roster, and how to fix it. Spins past Tozer and gets the shot away. Not the things you want to hear, right? On a broadcast. So Charlie Austin. Into the middle. Oh, knocked away. We'll get a corner here. So 2.5 minutes of injury time in. This has been going back and forth, still at 4-1. So yes, Andrew, that is Charlie Austin by my little brief Google search that I did there to figure that out. Yeah, I'm not worried about up front, though. I mean, you expect to win games when you're called on to score 5 or 6 goals. Oh, header, and it goes off. So we'll get another corner. So that wasn't a corner. I guess it went for a Tozer throw. I just see the ball looping in, assumed it was a corner. And again, a standard short post, far post, header to header touch there that doesn't work out. So Lee now from the left center to really close. Swirling wind from Lee up in the air, and that blew a long way to actually challenge the goalkeeper at the line, and he was able to punch it away. Looks like there was a foul there, and so yep, there was, and they're playing it the other way. Sounds like Mark's actually suggesting there wasn't a foul and that that ball might have crossed the line on the punch. I don't think I saw that, but that's a foul, and we'll go again. You're the eyes on the ground, Andrew. There's no way I can even estimate, but I'm happy they got young keepers to end up doing their thing. So 4.5 minutes into injury time. Man, the wind is really swirling. The one that Lee put up went to the right. That long ball up went to the left. Another giveaway. Lee sort of scrambles back. You've got to call that. That's a blow it down. I wouldn't say struggling. I think the quality still. Bickerstaff. Oh, you had time to settle it down, and he got excited and pumped it to the right. Struggling in the back. We've looked good everywhere else. I think possession-wise, we're into the game. We're getting opportunities. To me, maybe blame it on Parkinson as far as deploying who he should be deploying. We have had some injuries. There was a time where we had 8 players that were out with injuries. So that's always a consideration, testing our depth. But to me, I've always been happy and satisfied with the quality of the team that we have. It's a performance, especially at the back. And today, just too many giveaways, and that's from the front to the back, just giving away possession unnecessarily. We have missed a couple of opportunities. There's been, that great save early in the half. We've had opportunities blown down for the half. I don't know what to take away from that first half. It is what it is. I'm going to probably leave you so that I can go and collect my thoughts and fill up my coffee and get some frustration and some anger out without having to scream and yell onto the live chat. So I'll leave you with some funny music. Feel free to stay. I hope we do. The numbers, I don't know if you guys get those numbers, dropped substantially in the last 2-3 minutes. I'm hoping everybody's still here, get to have a chat, figure out as we dissect and look forward to build something positive out of this game coming back in the second half. Oddly enough, I still think there's a potential to get into it, but gotta stop the stupid giveaways. So it's a prison beating. Does it count as a prison beating when you're beating yourself? Give Swindon credit. They've landed their punches when they were there, but we've provided them all of the tools to beat us. And so let's hope for, yes, another Dover comeback would be nice. And I will be back momentarily. And we're back. So, looking at the stats, interestingly enough, sort of indicative of how play has gone. We are out shooting them 9-5, but we've only got 3 shots on target. Um, Possession wise, fairly even, 48% to 52%. Passes near equals, separation of 18, somewhat similar in accuracy. They're out fouling us 10-5. They've got the only yellow card. We've had 4 corners to their 1. So definitely there offensively. It goes with the methodology that where the problem has been is brutal giveaways, lots of possession given away. And we'll see how it's going. Interesting if you look at the table, a lot of separation happening, lots of teams with wins that are above us, that are leading, and a lot of teams that are losing below or around us. And so a little bit of separation anticipated. Was looking ahead. We've got Barrow next, who sitting second right now in the table, although they're tied. That's going to be an exceptionally important game looking forward. I don't want to suggest that we're not going to be able to get back into this one. There's always time, always optimism, always hope. 4-1 is a lot of anger. Nice to see you, Manu. I don't know where you've been and if you've been watching it at all, but it's been a first half of horrible giveaways throughout. And that's been frustrating. How many games do we have to lose before Parkinson gets his right combination? I mean, I said this before the start. Parkinson's either going to look brilliant with his selections. There were a lot of options that I don't understand how Hayden and McLean aren't in the lineup unless they're really injured. And the report I had was that Hayden was back and was ready. So that's frustrating. I don't understand O'Connor being on the bench. To me, he's been, when on the pitch, the star. Great from set pieces. I would like to see him even potentially as an anchor, if not Young. That's sort of where I see him. So maybe too much, but given his age. But to me, he's stepped up and earned it. Yeah, if he's healthy, he's preferred to Howard. I'll give you that. Just seems to be a constant thing with his career, right? And I don't know, they were talking at the, I guess probably just before injury time started, Griffiths was talking about what do you do in the second half when you're down 4-1? Because as bad as we've been defensively, do you have to make your changes up front? I've liked the Palmer Bickerstaff combination, and I think if you're going to make subs, you look to bring in potentially a little bit more offense, make those changes up front. We've got O'Connor, Ford, Young as options. Waters and Dalby. I don't know who do you bring in that's out of Waters and Dalby that's going to perform better than Bickerstaff and Palmer did. It's to me, it's just about their legs and whether they've, especially with Palmer, whether he's got the capacity to go another full half. But frustrating. That game against Barrow, though, next week, going to be important because there's starting to be some separation on the table. We're going to want to hold on. I know that September's we haven't played a game facing a team that's below us in the table, and one of the struggling teams. We've been playing sort of middle of the pack or better, and it'd be nice to get to September and hopefully build some hay there. But you got to hold on these ones. To take 3 out of a possible 9 points at home, that's not going to get it done. Got to be better than that. And Barrow away. That's at least a point would be okay, but we're at the point in the season now where that's one that we're going to have to figure it out. So players are just coming out. Everybody's lining up. Wrexham's going to go from right to left on your screen towards the tech end. Swindon's going to go from left to right towards the city end, the cop. the vacant cop. Foster's still in. Haven't seen much from Khan, if that's the only player. I don't want to jinx it and end up him having a heck of a performance in the midfield. When you look at the shots, 5 shots, 4 goals. He's made 1 save today. And I think that some of those, at least 2 of them, were certainly stops that could have been made. The one that went perfectly placed on the left side, just inside the post. I don't know if he could have got to that in time, but it wasn't a thumping shot by any stretch. It was a well placed shot. So we're underway. Graphics haven't gone up, so I can't give you where we are, but Hutton's got it for Swindon to do the throw in. Tozer misplaced it a little bit, gets it back to Foster, kicked away into the midfield. Palmer there, no, fell before he even had the chance to play it. They were lining up for a big challenge there between the two to get into the air, and it dropped like 16 feet in front of both of them. Mendy and Hutton, that's been these two have gotten to know each other well today. Mendy with good pressure, and it's kicked out, so we'll get a throw in. Potentially too far for a Tozer bomb. No, maybe just in range. Let's get one early here and get into this and make it something worth watching. The fans are clapping, getting into it. Here comes the throw. I think that was a fortuitous placement. I think the ball went out well after that, but we'll take it. Oh, header, deflect, and collected by the goalkeeper, Mahoney, and away they go. Good on him for getting out there to grab that. And I missed that. Cannon and Jones subbed off, so I didn't see who came in. Young and O'Connor on, I should be looking. That makes sense to me. You got to get something in the midfield. Why not Young and O'Connor at the start? Willie, I'm just he's the one guy that I don't see enough positives yet. I just don't from Hosanna. The little ball from Cannon. He's able to collect. He's in the box, hammers it. Oh, nice stop by Mahoney. Going in like a cannonball on that one to get the rebound. Unsuccessful, but we turn it over. Good play to get it back. Palmer a little bit too far, maybe. No, he's working. Palmer on the left side. Sweet. Oh, it's open. Mendy not able to get to the ball. That was well done by Cannon getting it in on that play. Kick, maybe a little bit more on that kick could have happened on the attempt. Didn't get it. Tozer's now going to throw it in from the right side. They've come out playing. Let's hope they get an early reward. Long ball in, header, and a reflex save, and just bounced over and saved by Mahoney. He's got it for a goal kick. Sort of rolled off of him in a late reaction, just the way the ball bounced, and he had to get up and grab it again. Might have hit the woodwork, but he saved it from going out, hitting the woodwork and creating a bigger mess. But long clear right to Fozzie. He throws it in, and we're going to come back the other way down the right side. O'Connell. Midfield. Searching. Plays it towards the middle. Bickerstaff. He's got it between 2 guys. Moves over to the left side. Flicks it back to Lee. He's going to collect. No, he's going to challenge and go down the left side. Lee to Bickerstaff. Bickerstaff unable. Just tried to flick the ball back to Lee, but couldn't get it. Long ball rolls out. Another throw in. Credit to us that we've come out. If we can keep this pressure on, there's always a chance. We've been at it. Boyle with the throw in down the left side. Palmer got it. Nice turn. Palmer. Oh, nowhere to really go. Holy moly. Palmer with the turn. You don't see that from the big man very much. He, who was that? 22, or was that Hutton? No, that was 22. Goodwin. I can't read my writing. Goodwin Malif just got turned on, but he ran out of space and had to take a kick. No chance there. Score is 4-1 bad guys. Swindon up. Oh, you got to call that to the spot. Now, I will give credit. That was not a threat. The corner was too far. There wasn't much that we could have done to make a play on it, but he got pulled down, clear and blatant pull down. I guess the referee could have, in those circumstances, let that one go because there was no threat. So Lee's going to step up to the spot. Come on now, let's get this fired up. Thomas right next to the stadium, and you're getting the score from a Canadian. Mahoney's jumping up and down, waiting for it. This is coming towards the tech end. Everybody at their feet. Andrew's given us the preview, so I know what's going to happen here. The joy of being behind. Here comes Lee with the kick. We know what's going to happen. Boom. Straight down the middle of the net. Mahoney jumps, and Lee runs and grabs the ball, and we're scooping it back. We're into it, guys. We're into it. Brave penalty kick. Whenever you hammer it down the middle, I always get a little bit nervous. I don't think I could take a penalty kick and go straight down the middle. Keep this pressure going, boys. Let's have some fun with this one. And I don't know what your thoughts are on the penalty. They're talking about it. They think it was a penalty too. You have to call it when it's that blatant. It was a blatant pull down, but there was no threat. The ball was long gone. Notts County doing damage, eh? Whistle blew. What was that for? Offside. We've got possession in our own half. 51 and a half minutes is where I'm at right now. Cross the fingers. Hands up, prayers whatever you do. Grab out your lucky totems and follow all your superstitions, and we'll see what happens here. Tozer down the line to the left, flicked over to the Mahoney a little bit light. Bickerstaff tried to get there, and couldn't. Back down to Tozer to head it down. Gets it back. Played back to him. Tozer, nice little move to get around the defender. Looking, searching. Gets it to Jones in the middle. Jones now searching. Palmer back to Jones, up over top. Little bit too far, but kicked out. Great pressure. That was Cannon. Yeah, Cannon with great pressure. So they've kicked it out. This is going to be another Tozer bomb. We're into this, guys. We are into this. The fans are into it. Wrexham being chanted throughout. We've lost a bunch of viewers, but hopefully we get them back. Tozer with the bomb. That's a good throw. Boyle just can't get there. Still there. Header. Just out of bounds. Palmer was able to kind of swirl around and play that one behind the defender. Just not quite able to get his hands onto it. So, yeah, you got to call that from Palmer. That was... I'm about 4 to 5 minutes behind. Well, I'll hit the reset button here, and we'll see what happens. "53 minutes and 20 seconds is where I'm at. Still 4-2, Swindon with the ball in the middle of the pitch. Another interception, turned around, deep down the field, too far. Swindon's able to get to it. We're back in, lads. We're back in. That was beautiful. Lee across 4-3 now. I'm struggling with the internet connection and still struggling. Damn it. YouTube. Sorry, man. Had to jump for another one. Holy guys. It has been something else to see. I'm on the iPad trying to reconnect to the main one. If Lee, I think it was Palmer that got that one. That was crazy. Absolutely bonkers. We're back into it. And then fortunately, I'm at the 57th minute now, depending on where you guys are at. Swindon just had an opportunity there and not really a save, but just went wide. It's been something else. It has been something else. Whew. Swindon's got it. Looks like I may have the main back. I'm going to bring that on. Sorry for the tech issues, guys. No, struggling with the computer for whatever reason with Restream and just not doing its thing for me. Swindon's going to have a free kick from the left-hand side, 57 minutes, 54 seconds. You'll have to let me know if I'm further ahead or further behind than I was before. It's out. Fozzie's got it, and he's going to collect it, and away we come the other way. Gotta love this. Lots of time left. 2 goals in. We've got a chance. I'm running into tech issues everywhere. Not sure if I'm with you, but I'll keep calling it out anyway. Lee on the left gets it up to Palmer. Palmer's standing, looking to turn, gets it back to Mendy. Lots of play on the left side. 2 in the box. Nice little ball in. Not able to get to it. Bickerstaff gets turned over. Oh boy. How's your heart doing? Boyle turns it over. Bickerstaff Plays it back out and away we go. Turn it again, turn it again, turn it again. Nice play. Into the box. Oh! Palmer. That's just unfortunate, frustrating, nightmarish. I'm not getting any chats. Oh, now I've got it back. I don't know if I'm back, if you guys are getting me, missing me. Sorry for the tech issues. That seems like it was a tech issue with Restream because it kicked me out on every single avenue that I was looking at. And as soon as I go live, so it looks like I'm back. That has been a crazy bit of a run. We are in it though. Is your heart beating as fast as mine is? I've been trying to get in, trying to follow along. The first that goal, beautiful from Lee spinning it over and getting in. Just missed that one to make it 4-4. Should have been potentially, but you know what? So much time left and so much of a threat. I'm just get to the corner flag and get another corner, and let's keep this going. I'll update the score. I'm just running slow. Andrew, going to be turning off the notifications and modifying things, eh? I do need to update the scoreboard. I am struggling on all of my platforms to do the updates. What was that? Fozzie stumbles, and that one almost went in. What happened there? It seems like I'm running everything except I'm losing control of what I've got in the background. I'm just going to keep on chatting and hoping that this hangs out. It's been a frustrating morning. I don't think it's my system. I think it's them. Cross in, flat ball. It goes over, rolls out. And that looks like Hutton now on the right. Swindon on the right-hand side versus Mendy. Plays it in. That's got to be a penalty. Send it the other way. Fozzie's collected, and away we run. Holy. It's just not working anywhere. I got that you can hear me now. The phone, the iPad, the whole not working. Load it up now. Away we go. Andrew's already calling for the win after just getting back to a point. I would take whatever I can get right now. We got a corner. Let's get this going. Oh boy. I'm going to place this here. It looks like everything's running. I'm just going to leave that in case it's an emergency and I need to add it because it's been working. The system seems to be going up and down. The game is still going on. 4-3, I can't update anything on my end, although I've got it on my phone to update the graphics. I'm just not going to touch anything and hope that it works because there seems to be issues everywhere. Far right, this is going to be a problem. Another cross in. I would have taken the shot if that was me or ran it in myself, but let's not have a defensive lapse. Let's keep this momentum going. Yeah, that's the story of everything. And I was all excited, Andrew, to be fair, to come back home where everything had been working fine. And the system decides to give me the old, you know what, not today. But I don't think it's a hardware issue on my end. And I don't think it's an internet connection on my end because it's working on different things. It's just Restream keeps crashing. Anyway, Boyle, long run for him down the left, tries to get to Mendy, deflection. Mendy across. Oh, stretched and palmed away. Ooh. Oh, you've always been able to hear me. Well, note to myself, everything freezes on my end and away we go. There's so much happening right now. It's like Swindon's not moving. We're kicking the ball around. It's mass chaos out there. Scramble, scramble. These are the sort of ugly games that I kind of like. Give it to him. Nope, Cannon holds on. Now he plays it, but a little bit behind them. Free kick. Jones pulls him down, and away we go. What's interesting is while I was gone, we picked up more viewers. So it's not me, or maybe I'm the downside. 67 minutes, 40 seconds. I'm a little bit afraid to hit the refresh button to see what ends up happening here. I don't know if that's good news or not. Stockport winning. I know they're down on the table, but expected to be running through. We got the ball back. Give it to him. Oh, I would have given him back in space. Instead, he turned into numbers. But you know what? Worked out. Gets it to Lee on the left. Lee up to Bickerstaff. He's looking down the left side. Enters into the penalty area. Crosses. He's searching. Sweeps it. Oh, Lee turns. Palmer, sorry, turns Shin out to Cannon. Long kick and oh! That much. That much. It's Ryan tuning in. Another fumble by the keeper. Man, they go to the replays, and by the time it comes back, we've got a shot. Lee. Corner, edge of the corner. Played it into his feet and had nowhere to go. Tried to scoop it over top to Lee. That would have been a nice little play there by Cannon if he was able to get it. Now Swindon's got possession, 1-on-1. Jones is back there to support. Jesus, Fozzie. Off the bar, off the woodwork, right over top of Fozzie's head. He went to leap, looked like it was going to be able to play it and get it over. Don't get me excited. That's always the dream. That's good news. I'm not going to hit the replay button, refresh, because it just when I did that, it all shut everything down. So turnover, we've got it. 69 minutes, 30 seconds. Lee, we've got numbers. Get it to him. He's away, and the goalkeeper comes out and plays it. Oh, good play by Mahoney on that one. Tie a knot in the rope. Let's go. Sounds like Barnett's back, and they're looking to potentially bring Ford in. Man, I don't know what Fozzie possessionally he got out there. He was in the right spot. I don't know if it was a chip to try and get it over top, but in any event, Fozzie just didn't get off of his feet, and it rolls right over top of him. Still 4-3. Swindon now with numbers 2-on-1. Men in the box. This doesn't look good. This doesn't look good. Wow. Tozer. So far, so good. Held everything up for us to get some shape. Oh. 70th minute on a 2-on-1. And I don't know where all the center backs were, but that's when you're running to try and get a goal. Tozer makes a great play to end up trying to turn it away. Does turn it away, and they're able to get it back. And we had numbers back, but they just beat us at the top of the box. That's, again, them just running at us. And that was Cannon that was there trying to stop them defensively. And Kemp just moves to the one side. They scored. It's 5-3. That was could Fozzie have done better there? It's one of those ones from the center that you make that little play and you go to one side and there's all options available to you. And unless Fozzie comes way out to challenge, which I guess he could have done, the broadcasters were suggesting that Fozzie, that was one that he should have had. I mean, at some point in time, he's got to make a save, right? You can say nothing he could do here, nothing he could do there, but every once in a while you expect a stop, and Fozzie hasn't given us a stop. So 72 minutes, down by 2 goals, having a run at it. Ugh. I think this is a different game than the Dons game, because the Dons had 2 goals that maybe we kind of gave to them, but they earned it. They built up in the back. They were clinical. They came forward and they scored on a lot of occasions. For us, we had 4 giveaways, and then one where we were just playing the back line was too far forward, and when it ended up on their feet, they were able to take advantage of the numbers, and that was us pushing for a goal. So I can kind of understand that in a game where you're down, maybe not by 1 to have the back line up so far, but we just got beat out there. The downside is other than Bickerstaff running all over the pitch, it seems like we've slowed down a little bit here on what we're trying to do on pushing forward. Long ball in and right to Kemp again. Kemp's looking. Oh, sorry, not Kemp. Young. That was Young that had it. I don't have an answer for that, especially when you're down. I've been enjoying the legwork and the effort that Wrexham's been showing, but that last goal seems to have deflated them quite a bit. They're not really pursuing as hard as they were and just laying back and holding shape. And now Swindon's got possession, just kicking it around from side to side. Now on the right with Hutton against Mendy. Hutton fends him off. Hutton back. Kemp in, nice little play to Austin there. He gets it back out to Hutton, and Mendy's out to meet him. Just kicking about. 74.5 minutes to play. Lee gets beaten. Cleared, not out yet, not out of danger yet. Swindon's able to maintain possession there. Clarence just didn't get that far down the field, but we'll get some relief as they take it back. Oh. Yeah, Fozzie's made 1 save, and that was in the first half. So penalty, or not penalty, foul to Boyle. Swindon's going to get a free kick here from 12 feet out. I don't think he got a yellow for that. I think you have to sit Fozzie for the next one, and that's sort of unfortunate because I don't think that Howard's better than him. That's just my take. If Leighton was healthy, we'd have an answer. But you expect Fozzie to be better, but 5 goals in game number 1, 5 goals here. This one was a worse performance because I think there were 3 balls that he could have got to, arguably 4. And you just expect him to make a save. Oof. Thought that could have been an own goal there. Entertaining football. We're set up for the plastic fans from North America, right? That's all the scheme. Run lots of offense, no defense in behind, keep everybody entertained. And yeah, that was the one I was looking at the half. That Barrow game, irrespective of what happens today, is going to be a big one, not only because it's away, it's against the team near the top of the table, but we just can't be giving away this many points early in the season. If we're not able to come back here, 3 out of 9 possible points at home is not a good enough start. And so I guess the only thing you can hope for is you can hold on and keep points away and start to steal them, right? Tozer there to collect in the back, gets it over to O'Connell. We're now building out of the back over to Boyle, and we're settled down. Boyle looking to move it forward. 77th minute, just passing. Who do you blame? Turnovers. I mean, expected goals isn't going to anticipate as many turnovers as we had in the half. The goal that happened in the second half, that was just the back line up too far. Bad positional play that led, and you'd expect Fozzie to take 1 or 2. There's a header. Mahoney's able to knock it down. I don't have a problem with the roster. I think these guys are quality enough to play. And you've spent enough. You can't just go out and buy it. Like you've got to let the guys run it. Yeah, does it cover positional play though, Andrew? I think that expected goal stat is based on possession, passing, shots on goal, all those sorts of metrics. But what it doesn't track is poor positional play and bad giveaways. Like we've given them options. Con with it now. Down to the left side. Swindon with lots of possession. Tries to get the cross in. Knocked down. O'Connell's there to collect. Controlled. Settled down. Young gets it over. Back to O'Connell. It's kicked away. Palmer jumped over the back. We get it back, though, and it's kicked down the field. Well, we have quick in Hayden. I don't know if composed is what I would use to describe Hayden, but we have quick. Can we gel Tozer and Hayden together and morph them into one composed and quick center back? I don't think that's the intention with the new goalie signings. I could be wrong, but I think that they were signed for the purposes of retooling and getting an option going forward, as we're a little old, long in the tooth in the back. So give them a season to get some experience and maybe play in a couple cup games, pizza cup games, and see where we go from there. 80th minute, we're going to need one relatively quick here to have a chat. Con with control. Yeah, it looks like Swindon's happy just to slowly move it forward, keep possession, kick it around over to open space. They've now worked to the right, found the center, and now they'll make an attack. That was O'Connell with the tackle on Kemp, who's been causing all sorts of havoc in the midfield. Possession. Let's settle this down. Oh, instead we're going to do a long thumping ball. Palmer's there to try to collect, and he's not able to, and it back on Swindon, and they just stand there. They're even making the slow it down motion, and they just turn it back. We've got subs looking to come in, but Swindon's just batting it around in the back. Long ball forward. Tozer's there. But did Wigan do enough? I've seen enough weak goals from Howard. Now I've seen them from Foster too today, but I've seen Fozzie make saves. Howard to me hasn't done anything where I've been like, there it is, that's a save. He's positionally, he's been there. He's a capable goaltender, but he doesn't steal one. Where Fozzie's, I think, been able to steal one up until this season with the first game against the Dons in this game, just not there. Mendy working to try and get it back. We earned the decision. We earned a corner. They're all on the back of Mendy's hard play and the flag. He beat Hutton, and we were able to get a corner. So let's get this. Are we not going to bring in those subs? Let's go. What are we doing, guys? Parky's yelling, pay attention, boys. Hurry up. So Palmer off for Dalby. So that's so Waters is in for Bickerstaff. Dalby came in for Palmer, and I'm trying to find the last change over there, but I'm also wanting to watch this corner come in. Let's put this in the back of the net right here. So Luke Young, right-footed, hard. How did that not go in? Dalby with the touch. Did he save that? I am fascinated to see this because that was a great little play. Oh, he stopped it in through his legs like a nutcracker, tried to nutmeg him through. 5-hole. We've got it back down the right-hand side. Waters standing and collects on the right side. Waters back. Barnett looking, searching. Nice little dance. Cross. Somebody's got to get up. He was searching there. Could have taken the shot. 83rd, approaching the 84th minute now. We've got it down the right side. Long ball. Waters left. Tough to go and get it. Kicked out. They're throwing. Dalby not able to collect it. Got to get fresh legs up front at some point, I guess, is the only message that we can send there. But it is sort of frustrating when you look at, for me, Waters hasn't really shown enough, but he did have a good play down the right side there. Wrexham throw, 84th minute, 20 seconds. In over top. Dalby's not able to collect. Waters rolled over top of both players, and he's scrambling. Keep going, Waters. Keep going, Waters. You got to like the effort. He turns and gets it down the field, and we should be able to collect. Oh, numbers, but it all landed. Yeah. One guy forward and 4 guys not able to get that. EOC's livid, saying that he chicken winged him and pushed him out of the way. I don't think that's the case. O'Connell just got his arm around him. He was there positionally. 85th minute, Swindon kicking it around in the back. Another one in the back. Moves it forward. That was fortuitous for us because I don't think it was necessary to kick that down the field, and they lost possession, and now Fox got it, and away we go. Out of play, Waters doesn't play that well, too close to the sidelines, and Fozzie just kicks it out and gives possession over. 85 minutes, 30 seconds gone. Now it's time to go to the block. Somebody run. Hmm. And Andrew, you're going to have to tell me, like, as far as, well played. I think he could have turned on that one from the right side and got around. Dalby off. It's going to go to a corner. Andrew, you're going to have to tell me as far as the decision to leave O'Connor out of O'Connor and Young being left out in the midfield seems odd to me because you're going to want to have one of those guys to control things. At least that's how I view them as some of our top midfielders, if not the top midfielders, other than maybe McLean, who I haven't seen enough of. And so is there a reason why they're being kept out? Young, I know, for workload, but why has O'Connor been out? Do we know of a knock? Is it just because he's young? Because I'll tell you, when he's on, things seem to be a lot more controlled in the middle. Cross into the middle, knock down. It's coming out. 87th minute now. EOC at the back. Everybody's up. Lee into the box or into the left. He's got Lee there, flicks it forward. Dalby's not able to get it. Is it going to roll out? Knocked down by Mahoney. He's going to fall on top of it. It'd have to be something special now. I'm with you, John. Just really too many turnovers, too many defensive lapses. You can't give possession away, and every time it seemed that we gave possession away, especially that fourth goal, as soon as it happened, I was like, "This is going to end up going in," and it wasn't. It wasn't a giveaway anywhere close to the box. It was in the midfield, but Swindon got it. They've got numbers now going the other way. Completely unnecessary giveaway. I'm looking forward to watching the extended highlights, or if necessary, the game, just because I want to break that one down myself and have a look at it. It just seemed like a completely nonsense right-footed kick down the right side, right into the middle of the field, and there was nobody around the Swindon player. And it's those little mistakes where you give up possession that really turn the game. I think Fozzie could have made certainly 2 out of the 5, potentially as many as 4 saves, but I think that's maybe asking too much given the numbers and options that Swindon had available for him as he's staring at multiple people coming forward. But I think he's made 1 save each half. That's not going to work. That's not going to do it. So 89th minute, it's all the way down. We're not able to collect and get possession, and Swindon just smashes it down the field, and now we're racing to connect it. EOC not able to do much with it, but to send it back. And are we going to get possession back? Waters is up there working for it. It's looking like a rugby union match. Everybody just kicking the ball back and forth. Yeah, that's what you expect, right? You don't expect him to stop at all, but you call on him to make a save, and he hasn't been there. Andrew had the expected goals numbers. Ford just kind of lost possession, gave a shove in the back as it was going out, and it ends up being a free kick. You expect there to be a save, but not there. Hey, I'm happy to try and do the play-by-play and keep it going. Too cheap to pay for the streaming. I get it. So approaching the 90th minute, we'll see what's coming up. 5 minutes pops up. And so that's where we're at as Mahoney punts this one down the field. Andrew, it didn't work. You can come back from the bog. Kemp on the right side. He's been dangerous every time he's been down there, but Mendy sort of displaces him easy, gets stepped on, and they're going to call it a free kick, and out comes Fozzie to collect it and pump it down the field 30 seconds into injury time. Let's not miss potential goal of the season by Bickerstaff. We'll have to, it's not going to mean much, but as far as individual efforts, it ended up potting ones. If you haven't seen that first one, make sure you get to the highlights because it's worth watching. We've had our chances. We've been unlucky half a dozen times, and Swindon's been clinical or lucky, however you want to call it. But they've potted their chances. When the final whistle blows, I'm going to try and bring up the stats and have a look. But I think we've had most of the possession. We've certainly had more shots. I think we've had more shots on goal. Tozer long throw into the box. That was a good header clear. Mendy through it. Header. We're in. Let's go. We're in. Let's go. Grab that ball. Run it back. That wasn't offside. That wasn't offside. Jones with the header. Let's go. Jones with 2 this year, or this game. Maybe I was wrong on the assessment of why was he getting the start. Why didn't that change the score? We've got possession now. 2 minutes left. 5-4. Trying to get the graphic working, but also trying to watch the bloody game. Waters, mistouch. Turn it over. 2.5 minutes in. Come on now, guys. Rub whatever lucky charm you have. Cross your fingers and your toes. Down the line, we've got possession. Maintain it. Foul. We're going to get a free kick. Turning it the other way. 2 minutes and 40 seconds. Fozzie's running out for the ball. We've got Mendy down. They're running over and picking him up. He got pulled up by EOC. No time to lay around. Mendy, you can collect yourself while you're walking back. Let's go. Everybody's up into the box. Fozzie's kicking from our side of half to try and get it in. He's directing everybody. Let's get into it. Come on. 3-minute mark. Long left-footed from Fozzie over to the right side. Everybody's in the box. It's a mess in there. It comes back out. That's Ford's got it now on the right side. Plays it back to Young. Young searching into the box. Into the box. Too far. Too much. 3 minutes, 20-second goal kick. 25 goal attempts to goal. Like, this has been a defensive debauchery collapse. And I can't blame it solely on the back 3 guys because the giveaways have been from everybody. Andrew, you're not allowed to get off of the bog. That's where we're at. And of course, it's stalling. No yellow card yet, so he's going to continue to do that. We've got 1 minute and 15 seconds left. Long ball now from Mahoney down into our half. Tozer gets it down. Waters, that was a hard first touch. Is he able to collect it? He's outnumbered 3-1. Somebody's got to get there and help him out. They push it down. We're able to collect it. Nice little play by Tozer there. Everyone thought he was going to go back, but he turns it, gains possession. 1 minute left. 1 minute in extra time, minus whatever, or add 30 seconds for the goal or whatever we're going to get for it. Young's got it. Midfield, over to the left. Mendy, left side. Looking to take somebody on, taking 2 on. Chip over top, header away. Mendy recollects it, headed back into the box. So many blue jerseys around. It's all over the place. Handball, penalty. He's giving it. What did he do? Oh, free kick from like an inch, a foot away from the box. Come on. Oh. I think it was just outside, but I want to see that scoring over. We are like a foot away, right at the center. The 5-minute mark is being hit. Everybody's lining up. Luke Young stepping up. It's got to be him, right? It's got to be him. Do you leave that to the young guy, to O'Connor, to pump that through? Wall 10 feet away, which puts him just out of the keeper's area. Lee, you think is taking it, Alex? Lee's not even lining up to take it. Lee's standing over to the left of the wall. How many people they got in the box? The wall, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 in the wall. One guy laying down on the ground. Come on. Ford's lining up for it. Young standing there. O'Connor standing there. 3 bodies. Everybody else surrounding the wall. There it is. Oh, great save, Mahoney. Score! Scores! Score! Lee! Lee! Woo! What? I'm dead. I am dead. I can't even call what happened right there. I don't even know what happened. It came in and bounced off about 3 people, and Lee comes in like some sort of crazy ninja and right foots that one in. We had holy, give me the replay. I just need to understand what happened. So Young takes it through the wall. Great save, might have gone off the woodwork, and it just bounces back, and everyone from Swindon's appealing. Everyone's from Swindon appealing. Nobody's looking to play the ball. It rolls out. They're all standing there watching it. And Lee, that was a save, but nobody helps out the keeper. Nobody turns away from the wall. Lee just a ninja, surgical, a ninja. My word, 6.5 minutes. Let's get another one. Let's do this. Like, what the heck just happened? I'm losing my voice. That's the final whistle. How annoying am I? I just got the finger from my beautiful wife. It's that kind of game. Oh. And there were people that left this game. Could you believe that? Don't believe in miracles. Oh my God. Believe in miracles? Yes, I do. That is bonkers. That is Wrexham. That is this game, this team. This is why you end up getting pulled in, is exactly for this reason. 5 full time. Andrew's got it covered. I hope that it isn't the comeback here, because I'm greedy and I want more. Give me all of the comebacks. Oh, Brennan, I don't know. Everybody's heart starting to settle down because this was. They've got to do Rock, Ryan, and Red. They haven't done their late night thing yet. They've got to do one now, don't they? I will take that point. Man, that was a rescue. Mark is going bonkers. He did go bonkers, and he took a shot at all of the fans who left early and was like, you missed all that. Wild game. Andrew, you're sitting in the bog for a week. That's just what you've got to do. 42 people, everybody jumping on here. We've doubled up as everybody takes this one in. That was absolutely an absolute insanity. You know what? We deserved better than that. That was poor defensive play in the first half. We cannot forget that. As crazy as that Lee goal was, and that's a potential, goal of the year, and people will remember it for its importance. Swindon gifted that to us by not turning around. I still say the most important goal was the Bickerstaff one, the first one, the goal of the. That's going to be a run-in for goal of the year. Him down that left side. So many good things and so many horrible things about this match. Absolute beauty effort. Came back in, got us the point. I'm watching Mark's reaction. You know what? Far more composed than I thought he was going to be. Holy, yeah, the highlights of this are going to be something to watch. This is going to be one I might actually watch the whole thing again just to try to break it down, because there were so many bad plays from the back, so many giveaways in the first half. Andrew highlighted the expected goals there. No more underestimating. Yeah, but I'm 0 for 2 on underestimating, right? But anyone can beat anybody, but I might have to take my note on that one. Just you look at the stats, it's a young team with nobody there, but they put it together, but we did gift them a lot of goals. Holy moly. Holy moly. Hey, I'm in. I'm loving doing this. I'm enjoying just me doing the previews and getting to know the teams. Oh, I ain't going nowhere. There's a guy who phoned in, called Rob from MK Dons and said, I left at halftime. We're shit, but I'll be back on Tuesday. Yeah, I get that. Yeah, I haven't even mentioned it. If you've enjoyed this and enjoy this, hit the subscribe button. I'm out of pocket to run this whole software system. I'm just looking to be able to make enough scratch to be able to satisfy that. So subscribe, follow along when the videos come out, give them a watch, give them a thumbs up, all that sort of stuff, so that the metrics keep me going, right? Keep this going. Look to build on the community. I'm interested to see the analytics because there was a clear drop off right before halftime and a couple more that left at the half. It was low here until we started to get into it, and then it's doubled. It's doubled with people joining to end up making their comments afterwards. Maybe it's just fans of other clubs looking at a plastic fan trying to see how we're reacting to it. I don't care. That game was a lot of fun. We came away. That's one of the best draws we'll get anyway. Um, oh, tale of two halves. Jekyll, Hyde. Too many giveaways. Too many giveaways. We cannot. Fozzie, you got to be better. We got to find out what we're doing in the back. Parky's got to give the back line and all the players a beating for their defensive efforts and for their poor giveaways that all of them led to a goal. Yeah, that was a handball. He had his hands out. Handball. I think I'd like to see a camera angle to see if it was a penalty, but it doesn't matter. Andrew, you are always welcome. I appreciate you being here because of the insight that you're able to provide. It's very welcome. And on my comments on my other videos as well. Even where you disagree with me, I still take that in. I can't even imagine, and I'm still amazed. Like Wensley, I think it was it you that was watching from outside the stadium? You got to hear all the ruckus that was probably going on, and here you are getting an idea of what's happening by listening to a Canadian providing it. So I'm in Port Coquitlam, British Columbia. So that's a suburb of Vancouver, about 45-minute drive in. Call that home. Never leave early. Yeah, I love listening to the color. How do you sum that game up? Jekyll and Hyde. Unforgivable giveaways. Like, unforgivable. Fozzie, not asking him to make a stop on all of those because they were in bad positions and after giveaways, the defense didn't have its shape. So, but you've got to make a stop. You've got to. So, everybody, you're welcome for the stream. John, PKIN. Oh, we're down to 28. We're starting to dissipate. I'm going to check out Rob Ryan Red in a little bit, see if they're online. I'm going to try to digest this and get the highlights later. I might have to do a summary of this one after I'm able to follow along and look at the goals again. PTSD givers. Yeah. Man, is it right that my chest is hurting? God. You just don't expect that. How many football games do you watch where 2 goals down, 7 minutes left before injury time, and you just kind of know where things are going to be? You anticipate it's going to be something frustrating. So still not enough as far as the stats. We're still in the bottom half, but you know what? You take that point on a go forward. Wimbledon's up at number 2. See, we've played 2 of the top 3 here. So guys, gals, we're into this. Mullen's still coming back. There's reason for optimism. We're sitting at 5 points. That's 2 points out of trouble. That's where Forest Green Rovers are. Did Colchester fall apart and lose that game today? So that's them, and Doncaster still at the bottom. Added time was 5 minutes added. And then they played a little bit extra beyond that because we scored the goal, and it ended up being blown down at the 6 minutes. That stadium cleared out in a hurry. Everybody trying to get to a pub to figure out what just happened in the game. 96 minutes. So, yeah, I had it 95 and a half. They allowed us to kick it back and get more attempted run, but nobody seemed to take possession of it at the end. I guess that's it for this. Wow. I'm gonna have to do a wrap up, but after the highlights, because I need to look at the extended highlights to try and figure out what the heck happened in this one. Even just replaying it in my head, you got the forward goal, you got the Lee penalty, you've got so much happened in this game. But Gillingham's certainly got off to a good start. Lots of runway left in this one. We're only 4 games in. We got 42 left to go, and you see teams go on runs and then fall apart as well. So who knows? I mean, the trick is don't get too high when you're up, don't get too low when you're low, and try to maintain a steady collection of points. We are now 3 games without a loss. So you take that. And be kind to the next opponent, please. Well, I will. It's Barrow, and I've got respect for Barrow, so there's going to be something I said. I'm going to have to slag Doncaster when we play them, just because that's where the in-laws are at. So if we end up losing that one, I'll make sure that all of my previews are angelic, and I will be monk-like in doing it. So anyways, we'll be back in a week. I'm hoping to get some corrections to the website going. I'm hoping to improve the technology here a little bit, and looking to work on another video that's a long time coming, but just so much going on in life that I don't know how much time we'll get in a week. I enjoy you being there. A reminder, hit the subscribe button down below if you haven't had the chance. Wow. Enjoy your evening. Enjoy your day. I'm going to get out with the family now and have a good one. This was fun. Until next time. This was the Red Horde. Oh, I didn't get to play my fancy little video. Hold on. Let's do this properly. This was the Red Horde. Oh, let's go to Twitch. Yeah, potential. I stream this one there, but I don't post anything other than my videos to YouTube. But anyways, have a good one, guys. I'm out.